Hello and welcome here in our group Complex PTSD and Thriving. I want to welcome everyone and thank you for making this such an awesome group. It's always lovely to see how we can create this space together. Okay, it's all of us to be supportive and inspiring for each other and celebrate our progress. And no matter how tiny it might feel to us, it is progress and it needs to be celebrated, and that's part of the healing, because the healing is this big up and down, that emotional roller coaster. And today I thought let's talk about sadness. Okay, it's an important emotion for us to talk about, because with complex PTSD we sometimes either can't feel it at all or it feels unstoppable. Okay, I don't know, are you someone who is numb right now and you can't feel any emotion whatsoever? Or do you feel emotion but you just can't cry? Okay, I have a friend of mine that he just can't cry. Or is it for you that you feel like, I just can't stop crying, how can I make it stop, and are you in that? Or is it for you that on the very odd occasion you have a few tears rolling down your cheek but you can't like fully cry? So there's all these different things happening for us, and we can move like over the years. Like there might be, depending on what stage of your healing you're in, you might not be able to stop crying, then you go through a phase where you just feel numb, so that can happen for us as well. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Before I forget, I also want to say a big thank you to Kinder again, our moderator here in the group, who helps me behind the scenes, so thank you, Kinder. And if you don't know me, I'm Tanya Windecker and I have complex PTSD myself, and it was always one of my missions to prove people wrong. Yeah, so often throughout childhood people always said that I'm not capable of things, like especially at high school when they told me I don't have what it takes to go to university. I was really sad, but all the way through my childhood, all those messages that I constantly got, they caused me a lot of pain, but I couldn't actually grieve for it, I couldn't be sad. And when we accumulate them, okay, obviously there was other things as well, that's just an example, but if we don't allow ourselves to feel sad about them, if we just stuff them in, I don't know what it feels like for you, but for me it's a bit like I have this giant rock, really rough rock inside. I mean, every turn I take, it's just painful, it's there, it's unpleasant and all, and it comes with me everywhere and it just bogs me down kind of thing. I don't know, that's just how it feels like for me. And I know if I could cry, the tears would kind of dissolve this. But yeah, so that's tears, that there's a magical healing power about this. So it's beautiful when we can cry, and I'm sure you probably felt some form of relief as well. I know when I am able to cry, I feel somewhat lighter or something like that. Okay, because I thought this is an important topic. We don't often talk about feeling sad, and I just had some rather sad days, and it's still a process, so I'm not quite through, but that's about a current situation. But as I said, our sadness can be about the past, grieving or feeling all this sadness for the childhood that we didn't have, or that that if you don't have a loving, caring family that you can go and visit and things, those kind of sadnesses, or the cost of the trauma that it affected the way our brain functions, all those things, they're big sadnesses. But we have sadnesses right in sadness situation that creates sadnesses right now as well. With the whole pandemic, people have lost their friend or people that they love. You may have lost your job, lost the freedom to move around the way we want to. If you love traveling, you won't be able to travel at the moment. There's sadness about those kind of things, or sadness if your relationship just fell apart, or maybe it didn't fall apart, maybe a friend of yours that you really like each other and is a best friend, but he or she just got a job in a different city, and while you wish them success and you want that for them, at the same time it brings up a lot of sadness, all this, because you can't be together so much. Or maybe you had an argument with your with a friend and you weren't able to repair that. So those kind of things, those kind of sadnesses in day-to-day life, for us we often try to compare it. It's oh, this isn't that bad compared to the other stuff that I had in my life, and we're not giving ourselves the space to actually feel that sadness, allowing it to be. Okay, so just checking if you guys have any questions for me, please go ahead and type in. But so the sadness, first off, I always like to remind myself, sadness also means caring. Okay? You know, we only feel sadness for things that we care. So we really want to keep that in mind as well, because that can help shift things a little bit for us. Okay? So any sensation that comes up for me, okay, it's trying to be with it. Try that to be, notice it. And sometimes with sensation, sometimes it's clear sadness, but sometimes there's other emotions and things coming up, or other sensations in our body, and I don't have names for it. I don't know what it is. I'm not very good at describing my emotions and sensations either. Okay, I really struggle there. When that happens, notice that happens. Don't try to give it words, because the minute we go and try to analyze what that sensation is and giving it names, we're going back up in our head. This is our analytical, critical kind of thinking, and we don't want to. We want to be feeling it. We want to be in like drop down to our heart. You know, instead of the mindfulness, we go to the heartfulness. And try to just stay with the sensation. Who cares what it's called? Okay? Just be there, make room for it, and remind myself, even with that uncomfortable, like when it feels like I have a rock inside of me, that I don't own this. I don't own the sensation. It's not mine. Those things, they come and they go. I let them be. They're like visitors. They come sometimes uninvited, or you know, or inconvenient, but they come, we let them be, and then they move. That's the same with the sadness. And that's for me, it's now just the last few years is my main focus on my own healing, to just allow all emotions just to be as they are, not fighting them, not trying to make them bigger, not trying to make them smaller, just notice them, letting them be. Okay? So I don't know where you're at that your healing journey. Sometimes at the beginning that can feel a bit too overwhelming, and then you put some different practices in there first. But just for now, I'll talk about that. And I did a video recently about intense emotions, so you might want to watch that one. But another thing I want to point out with sadness is that all of us humans, we find it really difficult to see other people cry. We're very quick when our friend cries to pat them on the back, oh, it's going to be okay, or we try to make a joke to cheer them up a little bit, or put some different music on. Or for children, we do the same, oh, come on, or giving them a lolly or something, you know, getting people out of that sadness. And we're doing the same for ourselves too. We're trying to constantly get ourselves out of it, not allowing us, instead of just, hey, it's okay. It's okay to feel that, oh, this is really sad that this just happened, and just allowing this to be and let it move by itself. That is really important, because tears have healing power. Okay, so. Let me just check if I mentioned everything. You guys are very quiet today. I'm just double checking. I'm getting worried that I'm actually in the right group. I've gone live in the wrong groups before. So, what I also like to do, for example, for now, because that sadness I've just had the last few days, or that what's come up for me, what I like to do is to take one thing from it. There is some wisdom there. There is something there, a lesson there for me to learn. And that was a big lesson, what just happened. There's a big lesson there for me to learn, and there's something that I can take from that helps me in future situations, something that can help me grow, become a better person, and help me on my path. I try to take something from it. Okay? Saying that, this is a situation right now. The childhood stuff, okay, there's no such thing as a lesson in abuse. Never, not even adulthood, but particularly for child, there's no lesson there for us to have learned. There's nothing. It's not. How do I say? It's more that for the childhood stuff, there's no lesson I could have learned. The only thing that I like to take from this is that me feeling sad and about all this means that I am a caring person. Okay, so it's never okay what happened. Doesn't matter whether we did the situation, but I am a caring person. That connecting it with it that way, that kind of helped me. I don't know whether this is helpful for you, but I would love to know, and so please share with us too if you have something that's really helped you with your sadness. What you gonna do? It's like, oh hi Kinder, she is here. Thank you. Kinder's been helping me out behind the scenes for so long, and I so appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so what do I say? Sadness. I think I mentioned everything. Yeah, so sadness is okay. It's okay to be sad about our past. It's okay to cry about that, because no child should have ever been through that. We were all worthy of having loving, caring caregivers, having felt protected, and what it means for us is that we are caring people. We are here, we're trying to heal ourselves, we're trying to grow, we are the cycle breakers, so to speak, because for a while that actually brought up a real lot of sadness for me recently when I read something about going back generations and realizing how the people who have hurt me, they had difficulties in their life, they had difficult upbringings, and then realizing that back then those people, they didn't have the internet to look up what's wrong with them and look up resources and things like that. They didn't have access to psychologists and things like that, and they were suffering, so they kept passing it on from generation to generation. And I mean, that doesn't make it okay what they did to me or to you or to anyone really. It made me really sad to realize that. It's like, oh wow, I am actually lucky. I have access to so many things. It is hard work. It would be so much easier every time I'm triggered to just go and lash out on everyone and tell them to just it would be much easier, but we don't. We're working so hard on ourselves, and I think it's important that we often pause and acknowledge that we are working hard and celebrating ourselves and allowing ourselves to feel proud of all what we do and how we make a difference for the next generation. Okay, so just wanted to say that too. So as always, I'm wishing you all lots and lots of love and rainbows to brighten up the tough times just a little. See you guys, bye.